There is so much emphasis on emotional intelligence these days that it appears that people are suppressing their emotions and problems in an effort to fit in, to keep their job, and, just using positive self-talk to muscle through the rough spots in their lives. Now, just to clarify, by this definition, emotional intelligence is the ability to identify, assess, and control the emotions of oneself, of others, and of groups. Recently, I had a friend over who has suffered enormous job stress during a time when his wife's father was dying of cancer. And of course, quitting his job didn't seem like an option during this difficult period, particularly since his wife returned to her parental home for many months to say goodbye to her dying father. And that left him at home to take care of their children, pay the bills, and so on. So who can forge ahead positively into a new job search, with all that going on? And after his father-in-law passed away, his wife returned home and he lost his job, as did many of his colleagues. And his wife decided she no longer wanted to remain married. What else could go wrong? Oh, of course, his father could be diagnosed with cancer. And he was. And now this guy's living in just complete hell with all this turmoil and two sweet children looking to him for stability. And let me ask you, is it any wonder people are cracking under this kind of strain? He's all alone. He tries to be emotionally together, but that only causes more harm than good. Now, we society, in our need for order and stability, we don't want people with all these problems in our lives. We don't want them working in our office. They're broken, right? I know that sounds pretty harsh. And the truth is, our society and the expectations around our emotional intelligence and, all together as fully functional adults, these expectations are sort of breaking down, how we should respond to these types of situations. I spent 3 hours with this guy the other night, acknowledging his horrific circumstance and his emotional turmoil, and gave him permission to just kind of embrace it all. He's not broken. He's experiencing emotional pain, deep, complicated emotional pain, and it needs to be expressed, embraced in some way, and worked through. It needs to be processed. It's not enough that he's just acknowledging it. Community is required. As a society, we're required to surround, love, heal, and regenerate those close to us. It's a responsibility to look after each other. So when we see hurting people, I'm not accusing you, but we should try not to look at them as broken people who haven't got their act together. People fall under all different walks of life, and you should look at them as someone who needs a little bit of kindness, generosity, and just loving support. And just watch the power of those simple things. Watch what kind of effect they can have on someone's life. Now, one small warning about all this. This doesn't condone people, or you, to remain disempowered victims for the rest of your life, or, it doesn't condone people to remain victims for the rest of their lives. Now, our role is to embrace and still to empower, leaving the wounded one to take responsibility for their recovery. So, the responsibility still lies on the individual for their own recovery. But the point of this is just to sort of send the message that society needs to stop viewing people with these kinds of problems as broken. We need to find new ways to support them and help them help themselves. So embrace, love, and really change the world. Thank you. And for more ideas on how to overcome grief and help those around you overcome their own grief, I highly recommend you visit my website, transformgrief.com. I've got a great video series on different techniques you can apply if you are undergoing grief, any kind of grief. It could be emotional grief or the death of a loved one. These are techniques that will really help you change your perspective and just start feeling better in minutes, because you will smile again, you will find joy again. There is a light on the other side of the turmoil that you're going through. So check out Transform Grief right now and start feeling better. Take care.